Wow, aren't we lucky to have the Charter of Rights and Freedoms here in Gazaland? But how about the structure of the government? How is it all set? Can you name us some positions and offices?
Okay, so right now I have a little bit of a drawing, a diagram type thing of the government structure. So it's basically the same as Canada's except for just a few changes. The format's the exact same. So this is because they're the ones who basically allowed us to come into their country, so we just decided to use their same structure. So to start off, we have the king. This is King Michael. It just says king, but King Michael, he's the king of Romania. He was the king of Romania. People still know him as the king of Romania. And so basically he rules everything. He makes all the final decisions. He's had everything. He just sits back, he relaxes, and he just lets everyone else do the work for him. So when you think of cliques, a group of friends or girls, whatever, there's the followers, and there's the leader who makes all the decisions, all the choices, all the everything. And then after that, there's the PM, the Prime Minister, and the executive branch, which is what we're talking about right now. And that's Bianca Marcoux. So she's kind of an assistant of the king. Oh my god, I guess exactly. And she's chosen by the if she has the most votes in her riding, if that makes sense. So in a clique again, you have that one person who's top of everything, and then you have the follower, who's close, who's second place. That's literally who the Prime Minister is. And then we have the cabinet. So basically these people, or person I should say, this person, they're chosen by us, not by the Prime Minister. Normally they're chosen by the Prime Minister, and they do special duties. But we choose them because we think that it's important for us to have a say as to who the cabinet is, rather than always the Prime Minister. And now for the legislative branch. So you have the Senate and the House of Commons, right? So the Senate is basically it's a component of the Parliament, and so is the House of Commons. And basically the Senate it takes bills, which are requests, and they just review them. Some of them are private, some of them aren't. They just go through them. So back to my example of a clique. So you have the follower, and then the leader, right? The follower is the leader, and then you have people who want something done. So they write down on paper what they want to do, and then they send it to them, and they go, okay, we need this done, and we need it done now. And then they think about it, and they're playing the role of the Senate. So the House of Commons is democratically elected. So they have a vote, and they're yeah. And basically they discuss things national issues and all sorts of issues. And right now the House of Commons, which is attached to the Parliament, they have 407 seats, and Gazaland wants to raise that to about 447 seats. So lastly, we have the judicial branch. So basically here, there's three courts. There's the provincial court, the federal court, and the Supreme Court. So starting off with the provincial court, Gazaland has provinces. Although it's the size of our province, it has provinces because we take that part of Canada with us. And basically what they do there is they deal with little issues theft and stuff like that. If you steal a chocolate bar or something. Stuff I was gonna say, divorces and criminal offenses. And then you go to what's it called, the federal court, and the federal court is the national trial court, and it hears and decides legal disputes which arise. And that leads us to the Supreme Court, and where is it? It's right here. And they're they make the final decision. This is the highest you can go. And yes, they make big decisions, I guess. The final judgment, and it is the highest legal authority, like I said.
How interesting. But how about the election process? Who gets to vote and who gets to run?
So election processes are something it's not really big right now because Gazaland is kind of new, but like when we got to decide, for example, when we had what was I gonna say, because there's 3 gazebos, like our national attraction, right? With the gazebo, we had like a vote with everyone, so like to see who decides to have the 3 gazebos. So for elections, everyone gets to vote. That's the beauty of a democratic society. And the people that run for office have to show interest in like in what they want to do. So for example, we're about to have an election because someone wants to be like in my school, so it's kind of a little different, but someone wants to be the class president, although we don't have presidents. So we're basically doing this to learn, and I'm still learning about it. And they need to have background, so they need to come to the teacher with a plan. They need to come to the teacher with like what they want to do, so like a platform, and then they go from there. But you can't just be like, oh, I want to run, I just want to get my point across. You can't. You have to have like some sort of plan with you.
And now for the political parties. How many are there exactly? What are their names? And where are they on the political spectrum?
So like overall, Gazaland has 4 major political parties, and they each stand for like a letter in Gaza. So the G stands for Grimaldi, and that is the Grimaldi Party. And like basically the Grimaldi Party focuses on like the healthcare of citizens, and it just focuses on every aspect of it: mental health, physical health, and how humans are, and like they try and make everything better. And then they stand on the left wing of the spectrum, and you'll see why in a second. So the second letter is A, and that's for Amieri Party. And the Amieri Party, basically it focuses on like the housing and like the landscape of Gazaland. So it focuses on like what they need to build and what there needs to be and how they want to make the society better look-wise and how it can benefit us. And they just promise us new things like all the time, and it's just like, I just hate the party. Anyway, that's biased, but anyway, they're on the right side of the spectrum. And then we have the Z, and they're like the Zebra Party. And the Zebra Party, since it's called the Zebra Party because black and white, basically it contrasts, right? So like the black is supposed to stand for Romanian, and the white is supposed to stand for English, like the 2 languages. So basically they think that we should have Romanian and English like taught at the same time in school, and like we should be able to speak fluently in both, although some people only know in both, like one, sorry. And like so they focus on trying to like make that better, and like they try to like they buy our votes by saying that like eventually we're gonna have like robots that are gonna like teach us the language, and we're gonna be like, oh my god, like full of like the languages, and we're gonna be like super smart. And then the last one is A, and it's like centered, and it focuses on like all the aspects that I talked about, so like healthcare, landscape, and languages. And the A, it stands for Adavari, and what was I gonna say? It's in the middle because, like I said, it focuses on all aspects. And basically the different, like, here parties, they don't have like a mixture of everything. Political parties are focused on one thing, and the one that's in the middle focuses on everything because they want most people to vote for them. But the one that's in the middle normally doesn't do what it promises. Although it says that it's gonna do what's there, it's not. But most people don't know that, and they normally vote for them, and that's why they win. Like, they had the most seats in the House of Commons last year, and they ended up winning, and I don't even know what it was for, to be honest with you, but all I know is that, like, when I get to the voting age, I am definitely gonna vote for Zebra,